Hello everybody, welcome to the course NPTEL SWAYAM course on Customer Relationship Management. This is Dr. Swagat Chatterjee from VGSUM IIT Kharagpur who is taking this course. We are discussing about customer equity and the relationship with that with the acquisition and retention spent. So, how do you decide how much money you will spend on acquisition and how much money we will spend in retention? And this is a very important problem because we all know that retention is more important in the context of CRM than acquisition. Now, if it is more important, how much more? What is the ratio exactly in the monetary terms that you want to spend on each customer or each potential customer in case of acquisition, that we will be discussing here in this particular case. So, there is a Excel file that has been given, there is lots of calculations given here, and I would probably the first thing that I will do is I will delete this whole table, so that you remain with me at the same page. I have deleted the table. So, let me tell you the problem first. So, the problem, so let us delete this and delete this also. The problem is like this, that okay. So, the problem is like this, whatever is been written here right now. Let me zoom a little bit. So, there are a company which has 500 customers and the total market size is 10,000. So, 500 customers it has and 9,500 customers are outside the market. They are the potential customers, they have not been acquired yet. 500 customers have been acquired already. So, this is the two values that has been given to me. Now, what this customer, this company generally spends $2 per potential customer, $2 per potential customer for acquisition spend and $8 per existing customers for retention spend. $2 per potential customer, that means if I have 9,500, then 9,500 into 2, $19,000 per time period, let us say per month, I do acquisition expenditure and retention expenditure is 500 customer, I am spending $8, fair enough. So, $4,000 is the retention expenditure, and while it does that, by spending $2 it gets 6% conversion rate, acquisition rate, and by spending $8 it gets 60% retention rate. So, what do I have basically? I am saying that when A is equal to 2, when A is equal to 2, my small a is equal to 6%, and when retention is equal to 8, my R is equal to 60%. These are the two things that has been told to me, fair enough. And it has been also told that the maximum possible conversion rate, the ceiling rate, and the maximum possible retention rate is 10% and 80%. So, the ceiling of acquisition is 10% and ceiling of retention is 80%. Now, it is asking me what should be the optimal acquisition and retention spend. So, let us do this thing. So, what do I know? I know that A is equal to CRA 1 minus e to the power minus k1 into A. Do I know that? Or can I write A by CRA is equal to 1 minus e to the power minus k1 A? I can write that. Or I can also write this, then just changing the side. Or I can also write this, then fair enough. then I can write this. So, by using this formula, I can calculate the value of K 1. Similarly, K 2's formula will be nothing but something like this. These are the formula. So, based on these two formula, first thing that I will do is I will calculate K 1 and K 2. Let us calculate K 1 and K 2 first. So, what is K 1? Let us just put it here. What is K 1 and what is K 2? What is K 1 and what is K 2? The K 1 is basically 1 by A is 2. So, minus 0.5 then, right, 1 by 2 is 0.5 into log of 1 minus something, and what is that something? Into 1 minus this is 6% and here A is 10%. So, 6 by 10.6, that is my K 1. Fair enough. And what is my K 2 then in this particular maths? Just 1 minute, minus 0.5, just let me okay. So, this might be wrong. So, I will come to this. And what is K 2? K 2 is minus 1 by 8 minus 1 by 8 into ln 1 minus smaller by CR, smaller is 60%, this is 80%. So, 0.6 by 0.8, these are the two values. So, this value is correct, this 0.17329, I have written it here. This value will be basically not ln, this will be 1 minus and here it will be 0.5 into, right, that will be the value K 1 and K 2. So, K 1 and K 2 I have got these two values, fair enough. So, one is for first one K 1 is for retention and K 2. Okay. So, I have done it wrong. So, K 1 and K 2, the first one this K 1 is for acquisition and second one is for retention. These are the two values that I have got. Then what is my acquisition spent initially? If it is 2, if I spend $2 initially, then what will be my conversion ratio? My conversion ratio is the maximum acquisition rate, which is M2, the maximum acquisition rate, which is M2, minus 1 minus E2, which is the K 1 basically, into G 2, which is the acquisition spend, that is what I get. Similarly, my retention is the maximum thing, which is M 3, into 1 minus exponential of minus E 3, E 3 is this one, into G 3, which is the K 2 into retention expenditure. So, this is the retention rate that I got, fair enough. Along with this, it has been also told to me that each guy whom I acquire pays $50, each customer pays $50 per time period, or in this case per month, this has been told. So, I spend $8 for retention, but they spend $50 in the business. So, now what is my total CLV? So, first time period I have 500 customers, none are retained, none are acquired. So, basically this minus 500 and I will put a F4 here. This is my total number of potential customers. How much is the retention spent? This into my retention spent and I put a F4 here. How much is the acquisition spent? This is my potential customers. Each customer I paid $2. So, that is my, these two are randomly taken. These two are randomly taken. Total is 10. These two are randomly taken. So, this is my acquisition spent, that this thing is this plus this is my total expenditure. What is my revenue? My revenue is 500 customers into 50, that is my revenue. So, what is my profit? My profit is revenue minus the total expenditure. And what is the time value of money? This time value of money is, let us say if I take 10% time value of money, this is this divided by 1.1 to the power. In the first case it is 0 and second case onwards it will go on. So, I will just write this minus 1. So, the first case it will be the same value. So, just check what I did it quickly. You should pause the video and slowly do it. Now, what happens in the next time period? In the next time period, out of these 500 people, how many gets retained? This many people get retained. So, I put a F4 sign here. So, 300 gets retained out of these 500 people. And how many do I acquire more? This into the conversion ratio. This many customers I acquire new in this particular thing. So, these are the new acquired customer. This is the retained customer. So, the new customer in the next time period is this plus this, and basically the potential customer left after time period 2 is this many. Fair enough. So, this many is my customers who I got from the potential customer base. This many is the customer whom I could retain. So, new customer plus old customer create the total customer. All potential market size minus the total customer creates my next period's potential customer. So, that is how the things change. How much is the retention spent? The retention spent in this time period is, I spend on this 870 people $8. So, retention spend is this into 8, and on this 9,130 people I spent $2. So, this is my total spend, this is my total expenditure, revenue and time value of money. And specifically I decided that I will do it for 30 years, your choice. After some period it's basically a mark chain. If you do marketing analytics, you will understand. So, after one point of time it will basically saturate. So, I will go on after 30 years, you will see last values are all same, all rows are same almost. So, it saturates at some point of time, and that gives me the total CLV. It is nothing but the summation of the time value of money, and I get this 318214.5. Now, this value is not the fixed value. If I just change these to 1 and 5, this value changes. If I change it to 20 and 30, this value changes. I start making losses because I spend a lot than making money, but anyway this value changes. So, what I will do next is how I can change this to expenditure by making sure that this particular, let us say total CLV, this total CLV maximizes. So, what I do is I will go to the solver. Oh, I do not have solver here. So, just 1 minute. So, if I do not have solver, do not worry, I will go to options, add-ins, Excel add-ins, and I will just check this solver. Okay, so in the solver what I am doing, you carefully check. It is written that the objective function here, it is written is C4. So, C4 is this basically this total CLV. I am maximizing this by changing G2 and G3, which is this 2 and 8, these two things, and I am making sure that every year I7 to I36, every year I do not spend more than $70,000. So, that is something that I am putting myself in a constraint. Now, use GRG nonlinear and try to solve, and it found a solution for me, and the solution is spend this much money. And you will see that it is asking me to spend more on retention, though the retention customers are low. It is saying that spend more on your existing customer than your potential customer. The chances of they coming back is much lower. That so, how much more? 5 times more. You spend 5 times more on your existing customer than something to your potential customer. That will ultimately give you better total CLV, or basically customer equity. So, this is how, if the life is limited, if I am doing it for 30 years rather than 100 years, using Excel we can easily find out how much should be our optimal acquisition spend and optimal retention spend in the context of customer relationship management. Thank you very much for being with me. It was a nice discussion, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.